Hello, this is Faith at Catholic Unschooling Coach. I think that's what I originally called this channel. And I'm here with an apology because I just dropped off the face of the earth for a long while. I think the last video I posted was September 30th. And let me explain why. I mean, there's no real excuse except that life just happened. But last September, I was doing too much, and I was really involved in putting on a 3-evening retreat with my parish that I'd been working a lot on in August and September, and I was doing that and just all the other things, taking care of the little 5-year-old, and being a mother to my 2 college students who were at home. One very reluctantly did not want to be here, doesn't want to be here, wants to be at college. The other one decided to do college from home and commute, so that wasn't an issue. But it was still, trying to support them, and my husband working from home, and just COVID and dealing with life. And I just got overwhelmed. And also in September and October, I was really in pain from my arthritis. Now, I have noticed that every fall, my knees ache. It was especially bad this time, though, and my ankles did too. So I was just hobbling around. Just to walk around was tiring. I was just exhausted. And so, and there was all this tension, and all my energies were going into this parish thing. And the parish event happened, what was it, the 30th, the 30th, no, the 30th, the 31st, is there 31st in September? It was the very end of September, the very beginning of October, 3 nights. And when that was over, I just kind of crashed. I just crashed, and I just sort of, and the other problem is, and it's gonna rear its head again right now, is I have a lot of trouble uploading videos to my second channel. I have no trouble at all. It's very easy to upload to Faith and Books, but I have a lot of trouble. So what happened was I was making videos, and it would take me a couple days just try and get them up. And I just I don't have that much time to sit. I don't edit or anything because I simply don't have time. I mean, right now the 5-year-old's playing with my son, but I've got other stuff I gotta do. I gotta go, start some seeds for my garden, and there's just stuff is always going on. Right now it's maybe a little quieter. So anyway, so I just forgot. It just was no longer on my radar to keep making these videos, and but I've gotten a couple of new subscribers suddenly, and also someone I know on Facebook said, why don't you make another video? So it's not like there's a whole lot of you that are out there, but if I can be helpful to even one person, it's worth it. So I'll try to do this, and I might be really slow and just do it like once a month, maybe twice a month but I'll just I'll try to start this up again, but I simply can't do it in any sort of professional, consistent way. So I do apologize. I really do. It was really insensitive of me. And I thought I would just give you a little update. We're still homeschooling the 5-year-old. We're hoping to get him into the parish school next year. If that doesn't happen, he might go to the public school. He's an only child, and I think it really is hurting him to not have other kids to play with regularly. So that's what we're probably going to do. But anyway, I mean, he's not my kid. It's his mother who's making these decisions. But I thought I would just give you a quick update on what we're doing right now in our little, home learning. And so let's see, what was I going to start with? Let's see, I have a bunch of stuff. Our routine is usually to read books over breakfast. I can show you some of the books he's selected. He's kind of rebelling against me right now because I gave him a picture book. So you have the best intentions, right? So I was going to give him a picture book every day for the 12 days of Christmas, but it was overwhelming. And he's just in this state of mind where he just doesn't, he wants to assert a bit of independence. And so he's rejecting those and he's going back. He only wants Dr. Seuss. So, but today he picked this one. So we have this little stories from around the world. I had a bigger version of this for my own kids, but it was falling apart, so I bought this secondhand. But so we had this one, and I said, close your eyes and just pick. And he picked one, and we read the one from India today, which was serendipitous because later on this morning we went to a nature class. I don't know where you are, but where we are, the parks are really upping a lot of their nature study programs, and they keep, and we have one, it's not the closest ones aren't doing it, of course. It's the one that's about 30 minutes away, but I've been, about once a week or once every other week, we've been going out, even though it's winter time, and doing these little classes. So today he had a class about squirrels, and we were learning all about squirrels, and they showed a picture of a squirrel from India. So we just read a short story, the snake charmer from India, and then that got, reinforced by seeing a picture of a squirrel. They have the largest squirrel in India, if you didn't know. They have really long tails, and they're really big. So anyway, so he picked this morning. Yesterday he picked this to read. We've read it a million times before. Spooky Riddles. He found this book and recognized the logo. So I said, that's Halloween. I hate reading books out of season. I really do. But he's like, no. And they're riddles. He doesn't get most of them. He just likes the idea of it. So, and then we also read this one. I had to read this to him 3 times in a row. And for this one, we've been going through, and he'll only let me do this, to a certain extent. And then it becomes wearisome, and he just wants to hear the story. But I point out I, and so we're reading, and I'll say, and I'll point to that, and then he'll say I, and then I'll say can read and read. So we've been doing that. So that's what we've been doing, reading out loud at breakfast. The other thing is he got this from Santa in his stocking, and he really likes this. We haven't done it for a couple of days, but the last couple of weeks, he's really enjoyed this. So these are if you don't know them, they're called Brain Quest. And I just say, you want me to quiz you? And I want to play the quiz game. And then there'll be a question. And most of them are a little bit on the easy side, but it also teaches him certain cultural references that maybe he hasn't picked up on. But so it says, this is random example. Which hot dog looks just like the hot dog in the circle? And then, and these are the type that he had a little bit of trouble with. So he's been learning to discern, to look at more detail with these. I don't really care for the art that they pick, but anyway, but this is fun. So we've been doing that off and on, not every day, but a couple times a week probably. The other thing that he got, I think he got this for his birthday from his mom, and it sits on our coffee table in our family room, and he plays with this regularly. He really likes this. He likes to play the game. I don't know how to turn it on even. How do you turn it on? I don't know. I'm not going to be able to make it work. But anyway, it talks to him. So it's this magic wand, and it's charged. And then when you turn it on, you can play different games, different geography games. So he really enjoys this. And we just have it strewn on our coffee table. And he's learning geography. Another thing that he got for Christmas from his mom, again, and we haven't even set this up. I think it's supposed to be some sort of electronic thing, and we haven't set it up. But what we have done is use these letter tiles. So he's got these letter tiles. This is also sitting on the coffee table, and he will just sit and play with it. And you put them here, and he'll want me, mostly he wants me to spell Pokemon characters. And so he said, how do you spell this? Or how do you spell that? Or how do you spell my name? Or how do you spell, somebody else's name? And so I've been reading out, telling him the letters, and he's been making the words. So, and that's, he's doing that completely on his own. It's just sitting out there. He's really fascinated with spelling right now. He's really on the cusp of reading. I hear a lot of banging. What else is I going to show you? What else have we been doing? Let's see. he's been taking a French class from Outschool. He did the Beatrix Potter class last semester, whatever you call it. That was really sweet. The teacher is Miss Carol, and she read Beatrix Potter stories out loud for half an hour, and she was really good with the kids. We really enjoyed that. But that ended, and we're starting a French class. And because his mother speaks French, we're trying to make sure that he is fluent. And so he's taking this little French class, and we've only had 2 so far. What happens is and these are not that expensive, like $7 a class or something like that. Trying to remember how much they are. It's the one thing. Besides the nature classes are also, I think they're $7. I'm not sure about I'll have to look and see how much the Outschool, and they might vary actually in how much they charge you. But they have a young woman from Canada teaching. So it's funny, she has a very American sounding accent, but she's speaking in French. But she has these little printouts and that they keep with them, and it's only a 30-minute class. And he has trouble paying attention. He really does have trouble paying attention, but she's pretty good. Like this time, she was teaching them sign language at the same time she was teaching them the words for family, and also she taught this verb avoir to j'ai, tu as, il a, nous avons, vous avez, ils sont. Pardon my bad French accent. Anyway, so that's something he's doing. That's formal and just one time a week. Let's see. Also, another thing that we do is every morning I just put out one of these sheets, and he copies over, and I have a big, thick pencil, one of those easy to write with pencils, and he does that. So, and then I ask him to circle the ones he thinks are the best, so he did. So he's on L. That was yesterday. We didn't do anything today. I got these sheets from Timberdoodle. This is my first letters, and that's what we're going through. You can see I just tucked in the ones that he's already done. And that's working very well. I'll just put it out after breakfast. I'll just put it at the table with the pencil, and at some point during the morning, he meanders over and sits and does it. It's really painless. So that's pretty good. I never had that experience with my own children, so that's really new to me. And then let's see, over the Christmas sort of break, there's no real break, I did order something for math, and it's this workbook, also from Timberdoodle. I sort of went kind of crazy on looking through all the stuff that Timberdoodle had. However, even though it's a nice workbook and everything, I like how they present the math concepts, it's way too much. And I'm looking at all these pages we're probably never going to fill out. I think I liked my method back in the day when I subscribed to Enchanted Learning, or now there's other ones like Teachers Pay Teachers or something like that. And you can just get these fun kind of worksheets and just use them when the time is right. When the spirit is willing and it seems like a good time to do a little table work. And instead of just wasting your money on something it's so overwhelming. There's just so much here, it's too much. So, but we have been doing a couple of things. For instance, we did this. I'm going to take this out. We did this page. Now I wrote the numbers. He hasn't really gotten into writing numbers yet. But he's fascinated with the plus and minus signs because also for Christmas he got Plusle and Minun. And these are 2 Pokemon creatures, little plushies that he, during COVID, his best friends are all his plushies. He's got about 12 of them, and he carries them around, and he's playing with them all the time. And so because of the plus and minus sign, when he sees one of those signs around, he'll say, oh, look, a Plusle or a Minun. And so he's become really interested in adding and subtracting. So that's another one of those crazy real-world things that redounds to his benefit. So because of these 2 little creatures that have a plus and a minus sign on them, because he has so much affection for them and plays with them and sleeps with them and everything, he's become fascinated with what those signs mean. So I'm trying to find the one. So we're going all out of order in this book because he wanted to do the plus. We hadn't even done any of the things beforehand. So we went right to the learning addition and how to read number sentences and then subtraction. He wanted to learn what minus meant, or Minun is the name of the character. And so we did that too. And we crossed out like it says 4 minus 3, so we crossed out 3 of the bananas, and I said, how many are left? He said 1, and then I wrote 1 down, and he's learning to read from left to right and how to say it. 4 take away, or 4 minus 3 equals, and then, so that was a fun thing, and it took about 3 minutes, and he really liked it. So I think it's okay to scatter fun worksheets around, throughout your learning atmosphere, because it helps, and it gives them something to do, and to them it's just a fun puzzle, right? And it was something he actually wanted to do when he saw that. So, but it's a waste. I could have just printed something out from Enchanted Learning, and instead I've got all this that it's, we're probably going to do 1/4 of the whole book if we're lucky. Another thing that we've been doing is from this workbook, which his mother bought at least a year ago, and it was sitting fallow in a pile of books, and I noticed it, and so I brought it upstairs thinking, well, maybe we'll use it for a fun thing one day if he's in the mood, and he has been in the mood because of the spelling. So it's coming from this, I think. Because of this, he's gotten into spelling. These are the letter tiles. And so I opened it up, and I said, look, we can blend. Do you want me to teach you how to read? You follow the arrow, and you sound out each sound, and that's how you come up with the word. And he sat and he listened to me. We did this whole page. And then you connect. So you sound out pot, and then you draw a line to connect to the pot. Again, we're not going to use this whole workbook at all. But it's a good resource to have when the time is right. You can pull it out and teach something when there's a teachable moment. So we have been doing that because he's just lately gotten more open to learning about reading. He's been on the cusp for months, but just recently, because of these letter tiles, he's become really more interested in reading. And let's see what else we have here. This is the nature class we went to this morning. This was his craft. He was supposed to color it. He was totally on strike about coloring. Hates coloring with a passion. They always want you to color. He's like, no, I'm not going to do it. So we just put it together and played with that. And they always have a scavenger hunt. So we went on a nature walk and looked for squirrel footprints and a gray squirrel and a hole in a tree. He was not into it this morning. I think he's outgrowing his boots, and so I think they were hurting his feet, and it was cold. He was getting cold, and I think he hadn't had quite enough to eat for breakfast. Sometimes it's hard getting food into him, and I think he was starting to droop. It was a lot of information being thrown at him. And then they gave us this, and I'm going to wait till my husband gets home because he and my husband went through it was last winter. He was so entertained by paper airplanes. They made dozens and dozens of paper airplanes, and he would just, instead of having his plushies, which is what he's using this year to play with, he just threw those paper airplanes. He knew every model, the name of every model, and he just played all the time with these paper airplanes. So here's another, we have flying squirrels, and which I did not know that we have as many flying squirrels as we have gray squirrels, and we have a lot of gray squirrels, but you just don't see them because they come out at night and they're really small. Anyway, I'm hoping that when my husband gets home, they'll make the paper airplane. My husband actually went into the office. He's been going in this week. But another thing that I did, and this is getting really long, is I bought this kit from Timberdoodle. Just because it's long days and we're in the house, I'm trying to keep him off the screen. And so I bought the science kit. We just started it. We've only done the first 2 experiments, but he's into it. It was, and I can't believe I bought this kit. I bought it because it said slime, and he really likes slime. but I hate plastic. I'm very much about getting rid of plastic pollution and that sort of thing. I want real material and not plastics. And this is all about polymers, so everything in the kit has plastic practically. So you can't win for losing, I'm telling you. Including everything coming in this plastic bag, which I'll be able to reuse. But anyway, it comes with a whole kit, and then they have these very easy to do experiments. So we've done the one where we took these tiny little polymer beads, really tiny, and we put them in water and we waited a few hours and they swelled up. They absorbed the water. And then yesterday we did an experiment, still sitting on the kitchen counter, where we put the balls that had swelled up, the beads, and we put flour in one, sugar in another, and salt in the third. Just use 3 jars. And of course the one with the salt shrunk again, so he finds that really fascinating. We just have it on the counter, so he'll go and check it all day. He'll run over and look. So, or at least he's been doing that. So we're probably going to continue with that, because the ultimate thing, the ultimate experiment is making slime, and he really wants to make slime. So that's our goal, to work our way through that book, and at the end we'll make slime. So I stop that, putting this back. Okay. So that is an update, and this is really long, and longer videos are hard to upload. So I will try to upload this, and God willing, it'll go through. And once again, I apologize, and I'd love it if you asked me questions and I could just address any, any problems or, conundrums or bumps that you're running into. I'd be happy to, I don't know if I'll have all the answers, but I could brainstorm with you or maybe direct you to resources or whatever. So anyway, I'm going to end now because it's gotten very long. I wish you well. God bless you. And, happy learning. And hopefully, I'll put something out. Hopefully this will go up, and hopefully I'll put something else up. Something else up, sooner rather than later. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.